Hello everyone, this is your Cosmic Slade Piru speaking, and welcome to the first part of Chapter 3 of my fanfiction book, Dream, Chronicles of a Hero. This chapter is titled The Appearance of Xerr, and I'm really excited because we're about to meet a character who will play an important role in the story moving forward. Meanwhile, in the second part of Chapter 2, which I highly recommend checking out if you haven't seen it yet, Slade and Superman fought and defeated one of Brainiac's massive overseers, proving that our young hero is beginning to discover the true extent of his abilities. But the mission is far from over. Many prisoners are still trapped aboard Brainiac's ship, and our heroes must continue their journey through the alien vessel in search of survivors. So, without further ado, let's continue the story. Enjoy the journey.
The shaft led us into another corridor, wider and dimly lit by flickering lights. There, among the lingering smoke and the acrid stench of overheated metal, we found someone. One of the prisoners, or so it seemed at first glance. Like me not long before, he had clearly just emerged from a containment capsule. And like me, he wasn't exactly overdressed, bare-assed and dazed. His hair was white, slicked back, but he was no old man. On the contrary, judging by his features and the way he carried himself, he couldn't have been more than 30. A young man with the look of a grandfather and the attitude of an irate passenger dumped off course.
Damn it. This place is a bloody maze.
He grumbled, looking around in irritation.
There's gotta be an emergency exit, or at least a sign.
I held back a laugh, though not completely. Let's hope they're not all this grumpy, I muttered under my breath, stepping forward to make myself noticed. The guy spun around sharply, pupils narrowed, gaze tense.
Hey, you. You're dressed in pieces of those robot freaks I just blew to pieces. You're not with them, are you?
Oh no, I started to reply, but my voice was immediately overridden by a far more authoritative one.
No,
Said Superman firmly, stepping forward.
he's with me.
The man sized him up for a moment, squinted, then scoffed theatrically.
Ah, great. You came to save me, huh? Well, thanks, but I don't need it. I managed just fine on my own. Out of my way.
I stood there, a little taken aback. Superman, however, remained calm, as if he were used to cases like this. As the man stomped off, still muttering under his breath, I took the opportunity to study his figure more closely. His right arm was entirely mechanical, built with an advanced technology whose origin I could not identify. On his left arm instead stood out a tattoo that appeared military in nature, a sign of a possible past in uniform. A soldier, maybe, or at least an ex-military man, I thought. The rest of his body, from the shoulders down, was marked with deep scars, each carrying a story I didn't have the time to learn.
To hell with this. I'll smash everything until I find an exit. Or maybe I'll just make one myself.
He barked, visibly irritated. And he actually did it. With a sudden roar, he slammed his metal arm into a side wall, shattering it as if it were made of styrofoam. He kept going, blow after blow, until he reached the ship's outer layer. With one final strike, he broke through the last barrier between himself and the void. And without hesitation, he jumped. No parachute, no protection, no sense.
That guy's insane!
Exclaimed Superman, quickly adding,
I'll be right back!
in an instant, he shot out through the breach with lightning speed. I, on the other hand, clung to the nearest console as the air pressure tried to drag me out. I stared in disbelief at the gaping wall, which, thanks to some automated technology, was already starting to seal itself shut, welding the panels back together to prevent oxygen loss. After all, we were nearly at stratosphere level. A few seconds later, just before the structure fully resealed, Superman re-entered through the opening, dragging the unconscious, stubborn acrobat behind him. He set him down on the floor like a sack of potatoes, and the man immediately sprang back up, cursing.
Hey, who told you to bring me back? I almost had a way down.
Superman simply crossed his arms, patient. I, however, fixed my eyes on the reckless fool. I couldn't decide if he was an idiot or a prodigy. Probably both.
Yeah, straight into the afterlife, maybe.
The Man of Steel replied, his tone ironic yet firm. The guy scoffed, folding his arms.
I don't need a babysitter or a flying Boy Scout.
I leaned against the console, still speechless, trying to figure out who or what that man was. His mechanical arm seemed to weave directly into his muscle fibers, and every movement radiated controlled pow, or maybe just compressed rage. His body spoke of a soldier, of a survivor, but his eyes hinted at something deeper. Fury, pain, perhaps just the raw, unstoppable urge to tear everything down without asking questions. Oracle, I whispered, still uncertain whether this guy was more useful or dangerous.
Loud and clear.
She replied, her tone professional, yet irritated.
Whoever he is, he clearly has some anger management issues. But as long as he doesn't rip us apart piece by piece, we can pretend he's likable.
Not exactly a team player, huh?
Only if by teamwork you mean I hit you before listening to you.
Meanwhile, the guy was prowling the area like a bloodhound on steroids, glaring at the walls with a scowl.
If you're done with the romantic chit-chat,
He barked without turning.
maybe we can get the hell out of this junkyard spaceship. I've already seen enough mechanical freaks for 2 reincarnations.
I couldn't resist a jab. No makeshift shorts, like the ones I threw together. You know, for a bit of interstellar decency. For a split second, he almost smiled. Almost. Then he bent down, wordless, and began gathering scraps of metal, straps, cables. He moved quickly and methodically, like he'd done this job 1,000 times before. Every piece found its place immediately, fixed with incredible precision, and within a minute he had built himself a kind of crude armor, rough but clearly functional.
Does my look still offend your delicate sensibilities, princess?
He asked, straightening and giving his shoulder a sharp knock to settle the new plating. No, now you look perfectly ready for a cameo in Mad Max, I commented, watching him as the metal creaked with every move he made.
Perfect. So, do we follow some corridor, or should I smash down another wall?
He said, already eyeing the nearest bulkhead as if weighing where to strike. Wait, I stopped him, stepping forward. We're not just looking for a way out, I said firmly. We're also looking for other prisoners like us. He paused for a moment, as if weighing my words. Then he shrugged, with an expression mixing indifference and annoyance.
Everyone saves themselves. I didn't sign up for a group rescue.
He turned his gaze back to the corridor ahead. At least a name, I countered, tilting my head. Just so we know what to call you, in case you get lost, or decide to throw yourself into the void again.
What's it to you? But since you insist, call me Xerr. End of conversation.
His voice was sharp, as if even giving his name was already a favor. A brief silence followed, loaded with questions no one dared ask.
Charming personality, huh?
Oracle quipped over comms, laced with sarcasm.
But hey, maybe under all those muscles and steel, there's a heart.
Who knows, I muttered, watching his back. Maybe he didn't have a heart of gold, but he sure looked like the type built to smash through anything standing between us and freedom. In the end, always guided by Oracle's precise voice, we resumed our path. And, despite constantly insisting that he could handle himself just fine and didn't give a damn about the other prisoners, Xerr always remained there, always a few steps behind us. He spent his time grumbling, criticizing every decision, complaining about everything, but he never really drifted away. It was as if, despite his words, he knew perfectly well that staying with us was his best shot at getting out of that ship alive. Superman, ever pragmatic, handed him a communicator identical to mine so we could all stay connected. The result? From that moment on, we could hear him constantly grumbling in the background, this time loud and clear, like a bitter old misanthrope with too much experience and zero patience.
Look how slow they are.
He muttered, walking behind us.
And noisy. And way too altruistic for my taste.
Nice to have a fan, I whispered without turning.
I'm not a fan. I'm a professional stuck in a band of idealists with a nurse complex.
Truly poetic.
Oracle chimed in, amused.
If your space soldier career ever goes down the drain, you could always try one of those shows where people just insult each other on camera.
What the hell are you talking about? Listen to this one.
He growled, with irritation as genuine as it was theatrical. In any case, it was during a sudden clash that we truly understood who Xerr was.
And with this, the first part of Chapter 3 comes to an end. For the first time, Slade has encountered Xerr, one of the prisoners on Brainiac's starship. But now I'd like to hear from you. What are your first impressions of Xerr? Do you like him? Do you trust him? Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to share your thoughts on this latest chapter and the Brainiac ship story arc so far. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support my work and help this project continue to grow. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and until next time, see you in game, guys!